Ian Rappaport tweeting out the Patriots are signing Carlton Davis. 3 years, $60 million, $34.5 million fully guaranteed. Carlton Davis to the Pats.
Carlton Davis elected to go back to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back in 2022. He told Mike Silver of The Athletic recently, I feel like last time I just kind of panicked. I was younger. And this time, I ain't going to settle for less.
I took the money,
is what he said. So he was with the Bucs when Tom Brady was there, won a Super Bowl. He's 28 years old, wanted to be paid like a top 10, top 15 corner. And so Davis is now a Patriot.
They're trying to build this defense. They're trying to win with defense.
And that gives them two good corners.
Yes.
3 moves you've made all defense. And you just heard Louis Riddick there talking about their number one priority is protect Drake May and give him some juice on the outside. Have they done any of that yet?
No.
No, you might be down your center.
I'll tell you why Davis is going to drive you nuts.
He takes chances.
And he can often get a little too physical, and I'm going to look up
hands to the heads. It's a little Ellis Hobbs-ish.
Yeah, hands to the face.
You're getting
holding.
You're getting
PIs.
great coverage.
I got to look up his penalties from last year. Can I find that?
I remember when Brady was there. I remember we were watching the Brady games, and this kid would have a flag or two and be like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! They're calling that."
Again, good signing, good talented player. You need talent, you get talent. That's good. They're building through the middle of the free agency class. Although this guy's going to get $20 million a year.
Yeah,
$20 million a year. Okay, that's real money. But I just. That doesn't speak to the needs of the team, the biggest needs of the team, which are on the other side of the ball, which is what was being discussed in that clip right there on NFL Network minutes ago. They need to address the offensive line. They need to address their receiver room. They need to address those things.
Now they're fixing the defense.
Instead, they're just going to add defensive pieces, which is, again, good because you need talent, but that's what they did an offseason ago. All they did was bring back all their guys on defense. They just paid them all. Godshaw gets re-upped. The safeties get re-upped.
So you just signed 3 defensive starters. You signed three defensive starters today.
Yeah, you did.
You signed 3 defensive starters, new guys.
That is true. They trying to win the game 17-14. Is that the deal? Is that how they're going to try and win now? Is this the side effect of bringing in a defensive-minded head coach? Is this what happens?
I mean, it could be him looking at it saying, this is where your biggest problem is. You guys think it's all defense or offense. He goes, it's the defense. Rodney was on this too. We brought back too many of your guys. And he was talking defensive side of the ball. So there you got rid of Godshaw, traded him for a 7th. And you've added 3 defensive starters today. New guys. That means Jonathan Jones isn't coming back, right? So if you're going to pay this for the other corner, well, you got 2 pretty good freaking corners, though. Say what you want. Davis will take chances, but they all do. Ellis Hobbs-ish. That's fine when you got an Asante Samuel or a Ty Law on the other side. You could do that. But you also give up the big play in the Super Bowl, too. A risk of it.
Well, I don't remember these names being at the top of our list last week, but they've acquired some talent.
Man, I wouldn't call it a big splash. It's like it's jumping in the shallow end, right? Get a little ripple.
No, if you had a number one receiver, if you had gone out and got a number one receiver and addressed the left tackle position, and you're talking about these as like secondary moves, you're feeling awesome about this offseason. But the fact that
you got some overpriced tackle contracts out there. Right?
You haven't addressed anything, though.
Last year, Carlton Davis had 7 penalties. He had, which isn't the end of the world. He had 4 PIs. He had how many holds? 2 holding calls against him and 1 illegal contact.
He's a slick guy, though.
He had 7 penalties against him. He's a physical player.
Mm-hmm. Gonzo's kind of physical, too. Hands-on in your hip. He'll jack you up. He'll come up. He'll make the tackle.
Well,
He's not afraid to set the edge.
By comparison, Christian Gonzalez had one penalty against him last year.
Thrown at quite often.
Yeah. Okay. All
All right, just to give you a comp.
Yeah.
So 7 over the course of a 17-season game. You're going to notice them. I'm just telling you.
Oh, I'll notice him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Is that might be something that you come to notice about the player. You excited now, Zoe? You're feeling good again?
I mean, I know you'd have to. I understand you have to make these signings. I'm like the fans. Like you want something big. Day one. Yeah. You got all that cash. I wouldn't be in for overpaying for a more guy at tackle. I wouldn't like that. Ronnie Stanley got that. To stay in Baltimore.
I just looked up 2023. Carlton Davis had 3 penalties that year. So he did go up a little bit last year.
Should look up the national broadcast games. He seemed to be making them on those big games.
Well, that's why I just remember it. I'm like, this is the guy who got called for he was getting flagged. Yeah. All right, so far the Patriots have signed 3 players. Harold Landry is a Patriot. Robert Spillane is a Patriot. Carlton Davis is a Patriot. 2 linebackers and a corner so far. We heard they were going to go really hard at Chris Godwin, and they were really going to go hard at Milton Williams. Those 2 players have gone elsewhere. I'm waiting on the Milton Williams. Did we get any money on that yet?
Still waiting on that one. That's going to be a monster deal.
That's going to be a big deal.
Josh Sweat's coming down the road, too, at some point here. Money's up there today. Good time to be a free agent.
Well, this is when the big prices get paid. All right, 617-779-0988.
On your aggressive meter, like where would you, like 1 to 10, 10 being the most aggressive, 1 being the least aggressive, where would you kind of slide that thought?
3 or 4.
Yeah.
That's like 5, 5.5. I mean, you got 3 starters today.
Yeah. I'll give them 1 point for each of the 3 starters. So they're 3. They're like a 3. It's definitely not sexy.
I need like
No, it is not sexy.
Need some good music to listen to on the way home.
Nothing sexy about this.
Feeling good again, like Raspberry Beret or something. You know,
This feels like they have pivoted to plan B, guys.
feels like the pivot happened.
Right, load up on defense.
Well, you got to figure out what style you're going to win with.
Or C.
Defense.
We'll call it plan C, I guess, for cornerback. But plan A is long dead.
That's another C.
Yeah, the 6th C.